Check out how these disgraceful Fox stooges put Anna Nicole Smith ahead of our soldiers.
The story that everyone's talking about and probably shouldn't be, and then a story that few people are talking about but everyone should be. Here is the panel. Jim Pinkerton of Newsday, syndicated columnist Cal Thomas, Jane Hall of the American University, and media writer Neil Gabler. I'm Eric Burns. Fox News Watch is on right now.
Let's start this morning in Florida with an American soap opera playing out live.
It is a legal circus that just keeps getting more bizarre.
There's no circus here, my friend. There's no circus here.
Jim, let me overrule the judge. Say there was a circus here and speculate as to why. To me, there has, maybe as long as we've been doing this show, there's never been a story that's had so many tabloid elements. The death of a beautiful woman, unexplained so far, battle over her body, DNA testing. This story has more to it than virtually any story we discuss on this show.
I agree. It is an occasion for vultures circling overhead. However, when you watch the vultures crack open the bones, you're kind of curious to see what's inside. I mean, this is a case, and there's real suspense in the courtroom and what the outcome was, and this horrible judge who I support televising courtroom proceedings, except in this guy's case. I want to retroactively throw him off, but I will admit it was morbidly fascinating the entire week.
Well, you know, and according to some blogger, this judge has previously tried to get his own show. Yeah. If this is it.
Yeah, I think we got problems. I don't think it's going to get that big a rating. But, you know, in this business, we talk about stories that have legs. This is a story that's a centipede, as you said, that has so many legs to it. But it also says something more about us. It's fascinating. There was a Pew poll that found that very large segments of the public, while condemning the coverage of this as overbearing and overwrought, still are watching it. It reminds me of an old Listerine mouthwash commercial years ago where they said you hate it, but you use it twice a day.
Cable news ratings, Jane, according to one poll that I came across, up 55% since this story became what it is.
Well, you know, I think Cal's right. I mean, it's like asking people if they would watch a train wreck or a car accident. People do. And I do think that this has, you know, everybody's trying to justify it. It does remind me, I'll be literary like Jim Pinkerton today. It reminds me of The Great Gatsby, this self-invented woman. Now this paternity suit, these people. I mean, the problem is it's amusing until you begin to see video, allegedly, that I saw on one of the shows of her cavorting with both Howard K. Stern and Burkhead and maybe a doctor who was giving her illegal drugs, if it's accurate. That looks a little different from, yes, Your Honor, I really want my loved one to have a good burial. I think it's going to get uglier, and we're not going to want to watch as much.
You know, Neil, I remember reading a line many years ago, an editor named Arthur Brisbane, who worked for William Randolph Hearst, was asked the definition of news. This is the turn of the 20th century. He said, news is anything that makes you say, gee whiz. Oh, yeah. If that's true, this story has as many gee whizzes as a centipede has legs.
Yeah, but there's another aspect to this, Eric. If you'll permit me to quote my own book, Life the Movie, in that book I talk about how the media transforms everything into entertainment. And with the effect that everything then transforms itself into entertainment. And this has been Exhibit A. I mean, this was not just a legal proceeding. This was a deliberate, self-conscious effort, particularly by the judge, to create a show for our viewing pleasure. So this wasn't just the media capturing something. And it's not entirely the media that's culpable. The entire system is culpable. Maybe Anna Nicole got the trial she deserved. After all, as Jane said, she was somewhat self-invented, and this was a show that matched that self-invention. But the system failed in making itself ludicrous. Not just the media. The media were just there to capture the show.
And let's also give due credit to South Florida.
For what reason?
As Dave Barry, who lives there, as Dave Barry said, listen, this is a South Florida weirdness magnet in action, magnetically pulling all these crackpots from around the world to come there to do their stuff. On TV.
But it's more than South Florida that's interested. Jane, if ratings did go up 55%, and this is a democracy, and we're supposed to respond to what most people want, then we, meaning cable news, should be giving it all this coverage, shouldn't we? People want to see it.
It's tricky because I think that the people who decided not to cover it are looking at ratings and going, okay, well, so I decided to cover the war in Iraq and I got killed, you know, in the ratings. I think it's hard. People are interested, but I don't think it means you give it to them 24/7.
The political left is a little upset, as expressed by Bob Herbert in the New York Times. He thinks all of this coverage is keeping people from examining the failures of the Bush administration and how badly the war is going in Iraq. Can I get an amen, Neil?
It's distorted priorities, and you'll get an amen from me.
Thank you.
You're just upset because you didn't think of that as an idea for a column of yours. That's all.
Yes.
It's time for a break. We will be back with this.
Wounded warriors. Chaos over their care? Did the media ignore an Iraq scandal at home? What's the real story? Details next on Newswatch.